Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Honest Hockey Takes. Every year, the NHL gets a great influx of new talent in the form of young kids coming into the league, and this year is like a next level rookie class. So today we decided to talk to you guys about our top 10 rookies to watch for this NHL season. And we're going to start off with the obvious one, Connor Bedard from the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock lately, you all know who Connor Bedard is. This kid set records in the WHL. He has one of the most lethal shots we've seen in years, and he absolutely is going to dominate this league for a long time to come.
This kid is going to be a franchise player in the league, no doubt about it. He has a very good NHL shot already. He's already one of the top echelon shots in the NHL, and he's a rookie. And we saw that in the first game and the second game he played against the Boston Bruins. Super good player.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy, Chicago lucked out so big in this draft lottery to get him. He's literally going to be the next great player in the league. Honestly, by the time he's 20, he's probably going to be a top 3 player in the NHL.
And the next player that we have on the list is Adam Fantilli from the Columbus Blue Jackets, who fell 3rd overall, which is shocking to me. This kid is terrific. He was terrific in the college, Michigan, and he has the size. He is a terrific two-way centerman. He can protect the puck, and he has a terrific wrister. And on top of that, he has a very good pass. So we'll see how he does in this league.
Yeah, honestly, Adam Fantilli is one of these rookies this year that is one of the most complete players. He is completely NHL ready. Like Cohen says, the size is already there. The skating is phenomenal for his size. You don't really expect a lot of big guys to be able to skate this fluid and this fast. Fantilli really has everything in spades. I think this is exactly what Columbus has been waiting for a long time. A true potential future #1 center. And he might not be that great this year, but I still project him to get around 55, 60 points. This guy has a lot of skill, and he can really do it all. He can pass, he can shoot, and just going to change this franchise for time to come. Next up, we got Logan Cooley from the Arizona Coyotes. Back in 2022, the Coyotes stole this guy at 3rd overall. I mean, I think this guy was the best player in that draft. I mean, when you look at Logan Cooley and his play style, this guy is smooth and he's got all the flash in the world. Some of the stuff we saw in the preseason was just nasty with spinorama moves and just the passing he had. Absolutely unreal, dynamic player. And this is something that Arizona needed more than anything, because this is a team for the longest time that has not had the biggest fan base, and they don't have that must-watch potential. But I mean, I think Logan Cooley is going to change that this year.
Yeah, this guy is a must-watch. He modeled his game after my favorite player, Patrick Kane. He is a smaller player, but he is an insanely skilled player. He can dangle the puck. He's got very good hands with the coordination with the puck, and he can skate the puck, which is insane. So, and you saw that goal that he scored in Australia. How freaking good he is. He can drive his own line. He can drive his own play. Terrific player to watch.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was in the top 3 at the end of the year for Calder consideration. He's just too talented, and by the end of the year, he might even be the first-line center for this Arizona team.
And the next player that we have is Devin Levi from the Buffalo Sabres. He was drafted 212 in the 2020 pick, which is insanely low. But this guy is one thing that really stands out about this goaltender is that he is very fast. He has very good reflexes. But on top of that, I think the thing that really stands out about this player is that he is very smart. He gets to positions very quickly, and he can kind of read the play before they really happen, and he can get into position on time to make those saves.
Yeah, absolutely amazing goalie. He was drafted quite low a couple years ago, but he has really evolved his game since then. I mean, this guy, we saw him at the World Juniors a couple years ago, won best goalie in the tournament, was absolutely dominant for Team Canada. And I mean, he's going to be the starting goaltender for this season for Buffalo. There's no question about it to me. This guy is just too good and has too much upside. And this is something that Buffalo has been waiting for a long time. Sabres fans should be ecstatic. They've always had a pretty solid young defensive core coming up now with Power and Dahlin, and then all those good offensive talents like Tage. But having a goalie like Devin Levi is going to change things for this team and maybe be able to take them to the next level. Next up, we have Luke Hughes from the New Jersey Devils. Youngest brother of the Hughes brothers, Quinn and Jack. This guy is also just as talented. If not, he could even be a better overall defensive defenseman than Quinn Hughes. We've seen so much from him already in the preseason and in the playoffs last year. But this guy, former 4th overall pick a couple years ago, this guy has got it all. He's got the size that his other brothers don't have. He's still got the same skating, which we've all seen how all the Hughes brothers skate. They're very smooth, very fast. And this guy projects to already start the season as a top top 4 defenseman for New Jersey. He's going to be quarterbacking the power play too. I just think the sky's the limit for this kid.
This kid is terrific. He's going to be a solid two-way defenseman in this league. He has a terrific skating, as Scott alluded to. All the Hughes brothers do. The difference between him and Quinn is that he's 6'2". He is much bigger than Quinn. He can definitely handle the rigors of the physicality of the NHL a lot better than Quinn Hughes can. So I think overall as a defender, he's going to be a lot better than Quinn Hughes. There's no doubt about it. The difference is that I think Quinn Hughes is definitely going to have the better offensive upside. I think Quinn Hughes is more explosive, but Luke Hughes I think will be the better overall defenseman down the road. And the next player that we have is William Eklund from the San Jose Sharks, who was drafted 7th overall in the 2021 pick. This kid is terrific. We actually saw him in Red Deer a couple years ago in the World Junior in person, playing with on a line with Alexander Holtz. This guy is terrific. He is so smart with the puck. He is so skilled with the puck. He has a terrific first pass. I don't know if you watched the preseason. He had that crazy pass speed from behind the net to some no-name guy on the Sharks, and he scored that goal. Easiest goal in his life. This kid is terrific.
Yeah, this is one of the players on this list I'm most excited for. We haven't heard his name as much lately because he's been buried in the AHL for the last couple years, but this is a player who's really going to transform this team for the San Jose Sharks. I mean, this is a team that's completely rebuilding, and he is going to be a big focal point, him and Will Smith. This kid just has it all, like Cohen said. Great skater, really good passer. He's primarily known as a playmaker. He's not going to score 40 goals or anything like that, but this guy could be a future guy who gets 50 assists. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him get 45, 50 points this year as a rookie. He's probably going to be used a lot on the power play just to kind of control the play. And I just really like every part of his game, honestly. This guy can play either center or he can play the wing, and just really dynamic. Next up, we got Matt Coronato from the Calgary Flames. This one was a little bit surprising on our list, but how do you leave this guy off when he makes the team after having 7 points in the preseason? This player was drafted in 2021, 13th overall, so he still has that draft pedigree, and he is known for his shot. This is something that the Calgary Flames really need, because when you look up and down that roster, they have a lot of passers. You got guys like Kadri and Huberdeau, who are primarily setup man, but Matt Coronato is a finisher. This kid loves to shoot, and I think he's really going to complement this top 6. He's opening up on the second line this year to start the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 20 goals as a rookie from this kid.
Yeah, this guy is very important for the Calgary Flames organization because he's a shooter, shoot first mentality player, which is kind of rare in the NHL. With the Calgary Flames, they have a lot of pass first mentality players like Jonathan Huber, so this is going to help him really well. The problem with this player is that I think he lacks the foot speed. I think he is a little bit on the slower side in the skating. I think he needs to work on that. But it's crazy how he makes the team. We'll see how he does this year, because the preseason is totally different. I know he killed in the preseason. We'll see how he does in the regular season. And the next player that we have is Matthew Knies from the Toronto Maple Leafs, who was drafted 57th overall in the 2021 draft. This guy we saw a taste of him last year in the playoffs, how good he was actually. He is a very good hockey player already. The nice thing about this prospect compared to everyone else on this list is that he's the most physical. He is the most physical, and he can play with an edge, which more edge than anyone on this list. So it's a nice blend. We saw how effective these type of players are in the NHL, like Matthew Tkachuk and the Brady Tkachuk, who can hit people and can score goals. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, this guy's one of the true power forward players in the league, and I think that's great because, I mean, this league is becoming really a skill league and a lot of smaller players, but really, you still need these guys. You need these big body players who can muck it up in the corners, who can fight for the puck, who can get it out to the skill guys, and yet still be good enough that you can make plays in front of the net. This guy has good hands for his size. We saw in the playoffs, the coach trusted him in every situation. He's going to likely play somewhere in the middle 6 this year. Obviously, Toronto's got an absolutely loaded top 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see him switching out with Max Domi here and there on the second and third line, depending on how the game situation goes and depending on injuries. I think this guy could be a 40-point player this year, and I mean, he's really going to help Toronto because they definitely need that grit, especially come playoff time. Next up, I have Leo Carlsson from the Anaheim Ducks. This year, Leo Carlsson surprised a lot of people when he was drafted 2nd overall. A lot of people had Fantilli going there, but the Ducks really liked what they saw in Carlsson. This This guy is a big body centerman, very stereotypical two-way type guy. You can really rely on him, and I think that's what Pat Verbeek really liked when he drafted this kid at 2. He just really liked this guy's two-way game. We saw in Sweden, like, other than maybe some speed issues, this guy had it all. Like, I mean, he was good awareness in his own zone. He could score. We saw in the World Juniors, this guy lit it up. He absolutely torched all these teams, over a point per game pace, which was pretty crazy for a kid that young. And I think that he's going to be the future center for this Ducks team for a long time to come. Unfortunately, he will be likely missing the first couple weeks of the season due to injury, but they've already announced that he is making this roster and will be playing for sure top 6, most likely between Trevor Zegras and Troy Terry.
Yeah, this guy's terrific. We saw him in the World Juniors playing there. He actually surprised a lot of people, I think, in how many points he had in that tournament, actually. He's already a really good hockey player. He is a very intelligent hockey player, and he's got super good playmaking abilities already at this age. And on top of that, he's pretty big. The only thing is that I feel like he's gonna take some years to get used to playing with that size. I think he needs to protect the puck, I think, a little bit better, use that size in the NHL. Right now, I feel like he's still a pretty passive player. He's more of a skill player right now, so we'll see. And the last player that we have on the list is Marco Rossi from the Minnesota Wild, who was drafted 9th overall in the 2020 pick. Now, this guy is very frustrating because I'm a Minnesota fan. That's my second favorite team. And this guy has literally never cracked this roster. He has so much potential, but the problem is we know he had these health issues along the way. But he's a terrific and very intelligent hockey player as well, just like Leo Carlsson there. But he's definitely a couple years older now. He should be ready for the NHL to take that next step. He has a very good pass, and he's good at playing in tight quarters. He's good at playing in tight spaces and passing the puck to tight spaces. So we'll see how he does, because Minnesota, I think, really needs a player like this to blossom.
Yeah, so he's one of the smallest players on our list here, but this guy is very evasive and very shifty with the puck. I really like his playmaking ability more than anything. This guy has potential, if he can actually adapt his game to the NHL, to be a 50-assist guy down the line in, like, say, 2 or 3 years. I think this year he will go through some growing pains. Likely will be playing as the third-line center to start this year. He could move up and get a chance in the top 6, however, because he does have that upside. I think really for him, he's torched it in the AHL the last 2 years, over a point per game, just really talented player. I think he just needs the opportunity more than anything, and I think he'll get that this year, at least probably getting like 14, 15 minutes a night and then some power play 2 time. Well, guys, that concludes our top 10 rookies to watch this year, although this year was ridiculously stacked and it was really hard to pick just 10. Just want to give a quick honorable mention to a couple other guys that just missed our list. Number 1, Brandt Clark, defenseman, LA Kings. This guy has a ton of potential. Mainly the reason he didn't make this list for me is because he's likely to start in the AHL and be called up at some point. Also, Zach Benson from the Buffalo Sabres, forward there, had an unreal training camp in preseason. He'll likely start lower down in the lineup, second or third line maybe. Might not make the impact and could only play 9 games and then be sent back. Third, David Juracek from the Columbus Blue Jackets. This guy here, good solid defensive defenseman with some offensive upside as well last year we saw. And he's probably going to play limited minutes and be in and out between the AHL and the 6th defense role this year. And finally, Luke Evangelista from the Nashville Predators. This kid rocked last year when he came into the league, got called up from the AHL. 15 points in 25 games. Has some really good offensive potential. Honestly, just missed the list because it was just so stacked this year. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and feel free to like if you did enjoy it, and leave a comment below who you think is going to be a good rookie to watch this year, because, I mean, rookies are a lot of fun. We'd love to hear. Until next time, take care and have a great day.
Take care, guys. Bye.